Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight I want to talk about something slightly different than before, something a little more controversial, and the video is entitled "The Gender Pay Gap and Proof Thereof." Now I'm not going to stick anything in this video because my camera is broken. I'm currently recording off my phone, so when I get all that stuff fixed I may start doing the editing, but this video is about I have found proof of the gender pay gap and what people usually talk about when it comes to the gender pay gap. Now, for the most part, the gender pay gap is an absolute myth. So if we were to take for instance, so we get two secretaries, a male and a female. They are two secretaries for a big business because he needs to carry on the workload, whatever. And they work the exact same hours, they hold the exact same position, and they will get the same pay. Not they should, they will get the same pay. Under Jimmy Carter, he introduced a law getting rid of the pay gap. So if a man and a woman work the exact same hours, if they take the exact same number of holidays for the same job, they will get the exact same pay. I'm only doing this because there is a big movement saying that there's a difference in pay gap where a man makes, say, £1 or $1. The female counterpart will make only 75 cents or 75 pence. And that was under Barack Obama's dreadful administration. But enough about that guy. So that is law. It can't be changed. If you find a instance where you can prove that two people have worked the exact same hours for the exact same job, exact same holidays, and there is a pay difference, by all means start law proceedings and sue the living crap out of that company. But you will need proof. My proof is in a subject nobody wants to talk about, and there's two areas actually, and they're relatively the same. So I've been doing some research on whether a male actor gets paid for getting buff for a scene, and I cannot find anything about this. I must have spent an hour looking for some information, and I can't find anything. I'm going to try one more site that I forgot about before. So if you was to type in on Google, does an actor get paid more for getting buff, it'll come up with how actors get paid so much for getting buff. Sorry, how actors get buff so fast, that kind of stuff. That is when the screen's not constantly doing this because of fucking pop-ups. But I can't really see anything. But this made me think about a certain thing that I saw a couple of years ago. If a female actor, not an actress, a female actor got paid more for if a female actor got paid for doing a nude scene, paid extra for doing a nude scene, should I say, extra compared to what was initially in the salary. Now, I could understand that if the nude scene was added or the topless scene was added, but if a actor gets a scene where they take their clothes off, if an actor gets paid for a nude scene and takes their clothes off, does a scene, and that scene was always going to happen, it was always in the script, I personally don't think they should get paid extra for that, as it is what they were signing up for. But if the scene got added, I do believe they should get paid extra for doing that scene if it gets added, because it is extra work, and not a lot of people like showing the body on camera. But some actresses and sorry, I said it. I meant actors. Some actors do get paid an additional amount for doing a nude scene that was already always in the script. So, isn't that a proof that women get paid more than men? Because men do not get paid for topless scenes. Men don't really get paid that much for, if at all, for a sexual scene. Now, let's face it, when it comes to love scenes, most people are not looking at the man. That is true in movies in general and in the porn industry. And that comfortably brings me to my next point. The difference between pay in porn. Now, salaries do vary in porn, just as they do in the acting industry. This is why we have categories of actors. So we have A class, B class, C class actors, and just failures. We have amateurs in porn, and experienced actors or performers, and then we have like these superstars in the industry. I did a couple of years ago work in the industry as a cameraman. I wasn't paid for it, it was just more like an intern thing. I only did it for a friend for a couple months. But it did give me an eye-opener into the industry itself. Even though the company that I worked for went out of business, because I worked for a friend who works for the company. So the company went out of business because nobody buys the DVDs and movies anymore. It's all online streaming, and most people just download it and rip them off that way. So there are a number of discrepancies when it comes to acting for porn actors. Anyway, so if we get a man and a woman on scene, let's say they're both new performers. They may have done a couple scenes before, maybe have done some solo work or whatever. So these two actors are doing a scene together. They're on camera obviously the same amount of time. They near enough burn the exact same amount of energy. So they should get equal pay, right? But there isn't. There is a substantial difference between a male performer and a female performer, and it can range from, they could both get £300 each, $300 each, to 2,000 plus each per scene. Oh, excuse me. But more than likely, a male performer will get about £300 to £400, and the female will get around 1,500 to 1,700. Obviously, each industry, each studio, has its own pay system, so they'll figure out the pay, but there is a huge difference between male and female. If a woman chooses to, she does not have to do this. If she chooses to, she can perform several scenes per day, where a man may do 1, 2 or 3, depending on his vitality. But porn in itself is a massively open area where it shows that the pay gap favours the woman. But nobody's talking about this, maybe because it's a taboo subject. But like I said, it also happens in acting. I cannot find any instances in acting where a man gets paid for taking his shirt off, where his the female counterpart does. Now, there's been a movement. There's always movements going on nowadays. That's the free the nipple movement, for instance. That a boob's just a boob. It's just the tissue underneath that is different, and nothing should be frowned upon or hidden away. So with that being said, if that is indeed true, shouldn't a male get paid just as much as a woman? It's worth thinking about. A boob is a boob. And though we do not, I don't personally think a woman should have a breast out in public. I don't particularly think a man should have his breast out in public. The reason for that is when a female exposes herself, men will get sexually aroused, and will lust over the woman. Where if a woman sees a man's boob, no one's going to lust over that, let's face it. Unless he's built like a brick shit house, and she might say, oh, that's very nice. But she's not going to go head over heels and take a million pictures of the guy. So there is that. And there is also the fact that some men are complete and utter perverts. So, with all that being said, you can feel free to do your own research. I'm not going to do it for you. I'm just getting my points of view. Everything I have said is my personal belief. I have looked up a lot of this, but I'm not going to name any websites. You can do that stuff yourself. You'll find the same discrepancies I've just mentioned if you look on enough sites. And if I'm wrong, comment. If you have found something I've not seen, comment, share a link. I will look into it if I can. And that comes to the end of the video. I hope this video was insightful. I hope it clarified a few things. And I'll see you next time. Peace out.